Hi and welcome. We're working on a 66 Impala convertible. We have an issue with the cowl. I guess you would consider this the upper cowl, separate from the firewall. It's held together by a series of spot welds. And what happens is they rust out. As you can see, I'm from New York City, so we get way more rust than someone in Texas. And this is the issues that we have to deal with. So now, in order for me to repair this whole area, I would have to remove this. I have to remove the nose, which includes the hood and the fenders. I would have to start grinding away all the spot welds, and those would be along the perimeter of that line. That's the firewall. There will also be a series of spot welds here, and somewhere around here, as well as inside the dashboard, which is just as toasty. And those spot welds will be around here if that was there, and on the other side. So this is me documenting the project. This is the first video of the project. Other than that, my car is completely solid. So again, we're going to be grinding that all out, finding every single spot weld. There's probably like 200 spot welds when they first put the car together. So grind that clean, find out where the spot welds are, drill out the spot welds, and then this whole thing. Oh yeah, the windshield has to come out. So that's gonna require all the moldings, glass, everything. So this is the beginning. I'm gonna probably come back after I grind out the firewall spot welds, and I'll try to show a step-by-step process. This piece is for sale, brand new. Surprisingly, they make it. It's around 340 bucks, something like that. So, see you next time. All right, here's the beginning stages of grinding out the spot welds. You'll see here how it's all finished. That's from the factory. They did a little gabagoo on there, covered up the seam. I don't know if that's Bondo or just glue. I don't know. 66. So I will have to drill out these bad boys. Find every single one of them. Can't be that hard. This is good metal. That's a spot weld. So grind all of these out for now. I really don't care about this side, because this is the solid part. This is the flat part. This is sitting behind, and then they spot welded through the firewall straight to the cowl. So as long as I drill these bad boys out, this should release. So I'll have to remove this. I have a brand new chrome power booster there for that one. So I'm just gonna do this little section for now. Not gonna drill it out, just gonna clean it all out, get my confidence going, and then we'll continue from there. Thank you, and see you in a few. All right, back. This is day 3. It took me about a day and a half to get the whole nose off. I had a couple of bolts that were stuck. I had to snap them. They just were not giving up. So now we exposed the firewall and cowl. I still got to remove the windshield. Series of spot welds here, of course, like I said before. Then this is the good section. You'll see this line. This is firewall, that's cowl. So on the back side is cowl. Back side. So this is good, and that's the seam. So there's probably going to be some here, and there's some seam sealer here. So this line represents the cowl. So I'm expecting them to be right here. Yeah, I can feel them. Of course, on the other side, same thing. That would take care of the majority of them. Then there'll be some on the inside. Now what I did was I separated the top of the dash from the lower section. I fucked up. I cut right here. I'm gonna have to weld that back in. Not a big deal. This eventually I'll clean this up, and when I go to install the top part of the dash back, I'm probably gonna weld it along this seam and finish it off. That way it's, you know, nice. I don't need the gap anymore. And if I get me another replacement top dash, I might have to repair mine, but if I can get a replacement, the replacement is gonna go under the windshield. If I try to repair mine because I can't get a replacement, what I'll do is I'll patch it, the damaged part, but I won't make the part that goes under the windshield. I'll just make it follow along the perimeter of the windshield. You know, I'll follow the radius of the windshield. But I'll try to get a replacement first. Now this section right here, this beautiful section right here, that's part of the cowl. So when I pop this whole thing out, that section actually is going to be new with the new cowl. This line that you see right here represents the actual body. So the cowl is already disconnecting from, it's like they're two different metals. I don't know. I don't know. But so that's gonna go, you'll see a line right down here. Matter of fact, let me see if we can get it. You see that line? That's the body, that's the cowl. It's almost like there's some here, and then it just goes across. So yeah, fun stuff. It's beautiful. And to get the dash, the top part of the dash out, what I had to do was separate it here. Now normally if it's a solid dash, if it's a good dash, the metal would be all the way under the windshield. Only because mine was rotted, I didn't have to worry about that. If I wanted to get out a good piece of a dash, I'd have to remove the windshield and then separate it, because I believe it's spot welded to the cowl too, along the perimeter of the windshield. But being that this one was rusted, I only had to worry about here. On the other side, same thing. And this bracket right here. This bracket is welded there, welded at the top of the dash, welded at the bottom of the dash. So the reason why I was able to cut it here is because when I put my dash back, or the replacement one, I can weld a patch panel. I can basically spot weld that together, and then weld a patch panel on the side, on both sides. It really don't matter, and it will be super strong, and it will be back to normal again. And then just weld it on that corner, there, and then the top panel will be back. And then this is gonna get painted pearl white. Everything you see that's black is gonna get painted pearl white. So I'll try to make a little documentary and just keep going, and I'll just put it all together as one long film, and hopefully if anybody has the same issues as I have, which most likely you do, this will make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, here's a quick update. Quick update over here. So basically, here we are, we're grinding, exposing this area. Don't have to touch this. We will be finding wherever it's attached here and using the spot weld drill bit, take those out. Here you can see the seam for the cowl. So I'm still not sure where the hell the welds are. So I'm guessing, I'm only guessing they're on this side because it feels like they're there, but that could be the back side of the weld. What I'll do is I'll have to clean both sides just to figure out exactly which side it is, and then remove those spot welds along this perimeter. Here I am cleaning the line. You'll notice it goes here and then does an abrupt turn, goes this way. So this part is not part of that. This line right here represents still the firewall. So you'll notice when you sand, don't try to erase the black marks. The black marks are actually indicators of where you got to do your work at. So you're gonna use the spot weld drill bit on these spots right here. So they're already pre-marked for you in a sense. So just got to continue going on. Okay. All right, so I've already drilled a series of holes on that side. If you're watching this video, you know what I'm doing already. Because every time I take a video, it's probably about an hour or two, maybe 4 hours difference from the last one. So I've learned some mistakes. I've figured out things not to do, like don't use these as a high speed, you know, with a high speed corded drill. Definitely buy a ton of them. They're like $5 each, because you see little teeth break. You got to go very easy with these things. So what is cool though, when the teeth do break on one, you can unscrew this and flip it over and then break the teeth on the other side. That way it's equal. That way it matches. Another thing, when these things are new, they have a plunger tip that goes in. Now originally I was using a center punch and I center punched the holes. Now what I was finding out with that was this was dulling down. Now maybe that's because I was using it at a high speed before. I found it a little easier to pre-drill all my holes. So basically just feel around like a blind person until you feel the dent, find the center, drill the hole, and then come back with this and chase it. I do spray a little bit of PB Blaster on there, give a little lube, only because I don't want to fucking spend $5,000 on just drill bits. But pretty much this is what I'm doing. Let's see if this doesn't break. And there you go. Little chunk is in there. I have a little pick right here. I can pick it out. Scratch my nose with that if I want. And I'm just going to continue on this series until I get this bad boy out. I already ordered the part. It's going to take a couple of days because it comes by ground shipping. It's a huge giant box. As you can see, it's one giant piece. So hopefully my build and my video will help others. I know you can do it. I can. By myself. Alright, we're back. Now, this comes brand new as one piece. Top and bottom already welded together. But you can separate them separately, which I think is easier to do. And the reason why I say this is once you disconnect all of the spot welds, you can separate them right there. You see there's one layer is the outside, is the firewall, the second layer is the lower section, and the third layer is the top section. So I separated from the firewall, then I separated from the two upper and lowers, and I was able to take it out as one piece. That's where the majority of my damage is right now. Now, the reason why I'm saying, once I've already separated this from the firewall, the only thing holding that lower layer is this edge and that edge. Now, I'm peeling this one off fairly easy, most likely because the damage that's here. I'm expecting that side to be a little more harder to separate. Not a big deal. There's no windshield or nothing, so I ain't got to worry about nothing. So, again, recap. Separate all the spot welds. separate the 2 layers, pop out the top, work comfortably, listen to some music, make sure you drink a lot of drinks because it's hot as hell outside. Even though I got air in my garage, I still feel the heat coming into the garage door. So if you have to tackle this job, it's not impossible. It helps if you're inside a building, not outside in the rain or anything, but it is definitely doable with some patience and a shit ton of spot weld removing bits, because you go through them pretty freaking easy. I've used about 7 of them so far, only because the first 2 I was doing some stupid shit with it. So see you in a few. Alright, we're back. Now the lower section was removed. On this side I used the air chisel. It just came down. I went a little deep there. But I just came down from this way, kept peeling it out with the air chisel. Basically that side. Air chiseled this from under. This is the bracket for the dashboard. So I'm assuming I'm going to have to weld that to the new piece. I don't know what it comes with. And then you have to unbolt the 2 rods that go to the steering. From here to here, here to here, there's 2 rods for the steering column.
What?
So I'm assuming those rods have to get bolted back to the new one, of course. I don't think it's going to come with them, so don't destroy those. Now it's just a matter of finishing up all the rough edges, flatten everything back out with the hammer and dolly, and wait for my stuff to come in the mail. Alright, we're back. This is the last video for part 1. I ordered the part, so I gotta wait for that to come in. Plus there's other prep work and other things I want to do. Addressing the rust and everything. All that's gonna get epoxy primered. Everything's gonna get touched. There's not gonna be any bare metal left. So this is the last video. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something. I hope you take away something from this video. Part 2 will consist of me working on the areas and prepping them. I have to strip out this electrical. I'm throwing all new electrical and stuff like that. So I'll be painting the dash like a pearl white. And so for now, I've grinded away all the surfaces that are going to touch the new cowl. I've hammered dollied it as much as I could for now. You'll notice it's straight, sharp as a razor, but sharp, straight. Everything's pretty much cleaned up. Anything exposed metal into there, I want that all painted. I don't care. I'll epoxy it. I don't care what it's going to cost me. I'm not doing this shit again. I'm owning this car a very long time, and I'm not doing this twice. So everything's clean, leveled, flattened as much as I possibly can. And this is the end of part 1. Thank you for watching. See you next time. It's going to be a while, but I'll see you next time.